Rajdeep Sardesai, consulting editor, is also joining me this morning. Rajdeep, a big setback for the Congress party. Ghulam Nabi Azad quitting from the Congress party, giving up his primary membership of the party.
You know, actually, Paulomi, this was inevitable. It was brewing. There was enough indication that Mr. Azad was on his way out. In fact, the only question was when, not whether he would leave the party. What is also important and significant is that he has left with a stinging attack on Rahul Gandhi. And I think that makes his departure different from some of the others. For example, when a Kapil Sibal left the party, again seen to be a member of the so-called G23, he was much more cautious in targeting the Gandhi family personally. But when I look at what Ghulam Nabi Azad has said, tearing government ordinance, glaring example of Rahul Gandhi's immaturity. Rahul's act led to the 2014 UPA defeat. Rahul stepped down as Congress president in a huff. Rahul Gandhi has insulted all senior netas. Remote control model of Rahul Gandhi has demolished party. All decisions taken by Rahul, his PAs and his security guards. Congress election process is a farce and a sham. Before doing Bharat Jodo, you should do Congress Jodo. So you can see the kind of language he's used, and significantly this comes while the organizational process is on and a new Congress president is to be appointed. A president who, according to Ghulam Nabi Azad, will simply be there as a sham figure. He says Rahul Gandhi is taking all the decisions and doesn't take is not held accountable. So this is Ghulam Nabi Azad not just resigning from the Congress, but tearing into Rahul Gandhi in particular. He's not said anything about Sonia Gandhi significantly, but taking down Rahul Gandhi while leaving the party. So clearly what is seen as the elephant in the room in the Congress, those who are with Rahul and those who are against Rahul. Those divisions now are out in the open like never before. If you remember, in the past, some of those who've left the Congress to join the BJP, for example, Paulomi, the likes of Jyotiraditya Scindia, the likes of Jitin Prasad, were seen to be close to Rahul Gandhi. Now you've got someone from the Sonia Gandhi camp, also someone who really harks back to the Rajiv Gandhi era, coming out in the open with a no-holds-barred attack on Rahul Gandhi while leaving the party. Ghulam Nabi Azad is not a national leader in terms of being a vote catcher, but purely in symbolic terms what he's done is really expose the deep rifts that exist within the Congress parivar. And just coming on the eve of these organizational elections, coming on the eve of Bharat Jodo, it is an attempt in a way to seriously undermine and damage Rahul Gandhi in particular. So the real attack of Ghulam Nabi Azad is on Rahul Gandhi and his style of leadership.
Is on Rahul Gandhi, but he also, Rajdeep, in that letter calls Mrs. Gandhi a nominal figurehead, saying it is Rahul Gandhi who's running the show. Worse still, possibly his security guards and his PAs are running the show. So he basically says that there is no faith that anybody has in Mrs. Gandhi's leadership. She has been the interim president of the Congress party since 2019 after Rahul Gandhi quit as the Congress president. It's been 3 years right now. Of course, there is a poll process which has been put into, action, into motion. There's a CWC meeting just 2 days later, but he's calling Mrs. Gandhi a nominal figurehead as well, saying you might be the interim president after Rahul Gandhi allegedly quit in a huff in 2019, but he's still running the show.
Absolutely, and this is, let's be honest, Paulomi, what Ghulam Nabi Azad is saying today is being whispered fairly loudly in Congress corridors. That at the end of the day, even though he's not the president of the party, Rahul Gandhi and the people close to him run the show. Ghulam Nabi Azad is only making public what many Congress persons are saying in private. Now, you could argue that Ghulam Nabi Azad is at the fag end of his career. He's a septuagenarian, very limited options available to him outside of Jammu and Kashmir. Maybe, he will look at forming, this was the buzz a few months ago, forming his own independent party and then looking to see what he can do in the Jammu and Kashmir elections. There's a possibility, I don't think at the moment that he would turn to the BJP right away, but who knows. Either way, what Ghulam Nabi Azad has significantly done, Paulomi, yes, he's called Sonia Gandhi a nominal figurehead, but the focus of his attack is on Rahul Gandhi and his style of leadership. And that is really the elephant in the room in the moment in the Congress. Many Congress persons have been saying this in private. And if you look at the G23, what's the status? Anand Sharma a few days ago quit the Himachal campaign committee chairmanship in a huff. You've got a situation where Kapil Sibal left the party, has become an independent MP supported now by the Samajwadi Party. There is a buzz about Manish Tiwari, and whether Manish Tiwari will stay for very long in the Congress is a huge question mark. You've got some others like Jitin Prasad who've already left. A few others in this so-called G23 have come back into the fold, the likes of Mukul Vasning, because now they've become members of parliament. But the G23 itself is not the issue. The issue really, according to me, it's not about Ghulam Nabi Azad. I don't think Ghulam Nabi Azad is going to make a difference to the Congress's future. The Congress's future is about the style of leadership, how decisions are taken in the party and who is held accountable. Those are the issues that Mr. Azad, by raising them, has in a sense become a symbol for what is wrong with the party.